Did you know the average pomegranate holds over 1,000 seeds? That's right, over 1,000 juicy ruby red jewels. But you won't get that if you make classic pomegranate growing mistakes. Welcome to Don't Do This Guide, where we celebrate failure to achieve success. Today, we dive into the seedy underworld of pomegranate growing. Avoid pitfalls and savor the sweet, tart taste of success. Now you might be thinking, why go through all the trouble? Why not just pop down to the shops and buy a perfectly good pomegranate? And you wouldn't be wrong, it's certainly easier. But let me tell you, there's a certain satisfaction, a deep sense of achievement, that comes with nurturing a plant from seedling to fruit-bearing beauty. And pomegranates, well, they're worth the effort. Firstly, there's the taste. Nothing compares to plucking a fruit, still warm from the sun, straight from the branch. And the flavor? It's simply divine, sweeter, juicier, and bursting with more flavor than anything you'll find in the supermarket. Plus, you know exactly what's gone into your fruit. No nasty chemicals or pesticides, just good, honest sunshine, and a little bit of love. And let's not forget the health benefits. Pomegranates are packed with antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals. Now, choosing the right pomegranate variety is crucial for success. You wouldn't plant a cactus in a bog, would you? It's all about finding the right plant for the right place. So let's delve into the wonderful world of pomegranate varieties, shall we? First off, you have your fruiting varieties. The wonderful variety is a classic for a reason. It's reliable, vigorous, and produces large, flavorful fruit. Then there's Parfyanka, a Russian variety known for its cold hardiness and exceptionally sweet arils. If you're short on space, consider dwarf varieties like Nana or State Fair. They're perfect for pots and patios and still produce a good crop of miniature pomegranates. When choosing a variety, consider your climate, space limitations, and whether you prioritize fruit production or ornamental beauty. Now, let's talk about propagation, shall we? There are two main ways to start your pomegranate journey: growing from seed or buying a sapling. Each has its own merits and drawbacks, so listen carefully. Growing from seed is undeniably satisfying. It's like a little miracle watching that tiny seed sprout into a plant. Plus, it's incredibly economical. You can often get seeds for next to nothing. However, it does require patience. Pomegranates grown from seed can take anywhere from 5 to 7 years to bear fruit. On the other hand, buying a sapling gives you a head start. You'll have a more established plant that's closer to fruiting age. Plus, you'll know exactly what variety you're getting, ensuring you get the fruit, size, and growth habit you desire. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Right then, let's talk dirt. I know, it's not the most glamorous aspect of gardening, but trust me, when it comes to pomegranates, getting the soil right is paramount. Pomegranates are tough, resilient plants, but even they have their limits. They thrive in well-drained soil, so if your garden resembles a bog after a downpour, you'll need to amend it. Incorporate plenty of grit, gravel, or perlite to improve drainage. They're not too fussy about soil pH, but prefer slightly acidic to neutral conditions. Now, if you're planting in containers, which is an excellent option, especially for dwarf varieties, choose a pot that's at least 15 to 20 inches in diameter. Use a good quality potting mix specifically formulated for fruit trees. Avoid using garden soil in containers as it tends to compact and restrict drainage, leading to root rot. Now let's get our hands dirty, shall we? Planting a pomegranate is a joyous occasion, a celebration of life and growth. But like all good things in life, it requires a gentle touch and a bit of know-how. Firstly, timing is everything. The best time to plant your pomegranate is in spring, after the last frost has passed and the soil has warmed up a bit. This gives your plant the entire growing season to establish itself before the chill of winter sets in. Dig a hole that's twice as wide and just as deep as the root ball. Gently place the plant in the hole, ensuring the root flare, where the roots meet the stem, is level with the soil surface. Water thoroughly to settle the roots and eliminate any air pockets. Pomegranates, my friends, are sun worshippers. They absolutely bask in the warmth and light, soaking up every ray to produce those glorious fruits. So when choosing a spot for your pomegranate, opt for the sunniest location you can find. Ideally, they need at least 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight each day. Anything less, and they might sulk, refusing to flower or produce fruit. Now, pomegranates are surprisingly hardy when it comes to temperature. They can tolerate temperatures as low as 10 degrees Fahrenheit for short periods. However, they thrive in warm, dry climates with hot summers and mild winters. If you live in a colder region, don't despair. You can still grow pomegranates, but you might need to offer them some winter protection. Consider planting them against a south-facing wall where they can benefit from the radiated heat. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite topic, watering. It's a delicate dance, isn't it? Too much water and you drown your plants. Too little and they wither and die. Pomegranates, being the resilient souls they are relatively drought-tolerant once established. However, they still need regular watering, especially during their first few years. The key is to water deeply and infrequently, allowing the soil to dry out slightly between waterings. Stick your finger into the soil. If it feels dry to the touch an inch or two down, it's time to give your pomegranate a good soak. Avoid overwatering, as this can lead to root rot, a common problem for pomegranates. Now, feeding your pomegranate is just as important as watering. In spring, just as new growth begins, apply a balanced, slow-release fertilizer specifically formulated for fruit trees. Now let's talk about pruning. Pomegranates can become a tangled mess, which isn't ideal for fruit production. Pruning encourages airflow, improves light penetration, and leads to a healthier tree. Prune in late winter or early spring before new growth begins. Remove dead, diseased, or damaged branches. These are brittle and discolored. Remove suckers from the base of the tree. They sap energy from the main trunk. Aim for an open center, vase-like form. This promotes even growth and reduces disease risk. Don't be afraid to prune back to a main branch or bud. Pomegranates recover quickly from hard pruning. Pruning is an art as much as a science. Ah, the birds and the bees. No, not a nature documentary, but an essential aspect of growing pomegranates pollination. You see, those beautiful, vibrant flowers that adorn your pomegranate tree need a little help from our buzzing friends to produce fruit. Most pomegranate varieties are self-fruitful, meaning they don't need another tree for pollination. However, cross-pollination, where pollen from one tree fertilizes the flowers of another, can increase fruit set and improve fruit quality. So if you have the space, consider planting two different varieties near each other. Now, attracting pollinators to your garden is crucial for successful pollination. Bees, butterflies, and other beneficial insects are drawn to bright colors and sweet scents. So plant a variety of flowering plants around your pomegranate to create a haven for pollinators. Avoid using pesticides, as these can harm beneficial insects. Gardening wouldn't be gardening without a few unwelcome guests, would it? Pests and diseases are an inevitable part of gardening, but fear not, knowledge is power. Identify and address issues early to keep your pomegranate healthy. The pomegranate butterfly lays eggs inside the fruit. The larvae feast on the juicy arils. Inspect trees for small holes or frass. Remove and destroy infested fruit. Aphids are another common pest. They weaken your pomegranate. Use water or insecticidal soap to control them. Now we've planted, watered, fed, pruned, and protected our pomegranate. The anticipation is palpable, the excitement building with each passing day. But now comes the hardest part, the waiting game. Patience, my friends, is the gardener's greatest virtue. Pomegranates, especially those grown from seed, can take their sweet time to bear fruit. It's not uncommon for them to take 5 to 7 years to grace you with their ruby red treasures. Even those grown from saplings can take a few years to reach maturity and produce a decent crop. But let me tell you, the wait is worth it. Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The harvest. Ripe pomegranates have a deep, even color and feel heavy. Use pruning shears to cut the fruit, leaving a short stub. Store at room temperature for a week or refrigerate for a month. Freeze arils for longer storage. So there you have it. The biggest don'ts when it comes to growing pomegranates. We've covered everything from choosing the right variety to battling pesky pests and everything in between. Remember, growing anything, especially delicious pomegranates, requires a little bit of knowledge and a whole lot of patience. Avoid these mistakes, and you'll be well on your way to enjoying your own homegrown pomegranate paradise. If you found this helpful, give this video a big thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips, tricks, and don't do this advice on all things gardening. What other gardening disasters have you experienced? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and happy growing!